Hello and welcome to the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast. I am Tony fucking G, your champion of the RWP. Folks, going at this solo tonight. As you know, Extreme Rules, the horror show at Extreme Rules happened this last Sunday, and we have not had a chance to put out any content concerning that event. We didn't get to do a prediction video. We didn't get to do a preview video. We didn't get to do a results and review and reaction video like we normally do. So, just in the interest of getting content out to you, I am going to run down this card for you. To get in the right mind frame, just a second. Yeah, I'm going to need plenty more of that. Okay, so let's just cut to the chase. This event was a fucking disaster. This event was a sham. This event pretty much spit in the face of all the Extreme Rules that came before it. The fact that they took this show as an opportunity to do more silly, ridiculous cinematic nonsense and completely embellished match stipulations and fantastical scenarios that we will dive into here shortly. It's a ridiculous thing. We already saw the Money in the Bank event cut down to 2.5 hours, and both men's and women's Money in the Bank ladder matches combined into one cinematic pile of shit. They kind of went the same route here. I understand with the situation in the world and the coronavirus pandemic and no fans, this is kind of a way to branch out a bit, try some different things, and capture some new viewers, I guess. I don't know. Without fans, you can pretty much do whatever you want. That's not always a good thing. And boy, howdy, did it show on this card. So I'll just run the. I'll be frank. I retained my title because of a 3-way tie. I'll run down our predictions quickly. I had Cesaro and Nakamura to beat New Day. Chicken and Phil both had New Day. I had Apollo Crews, as did Chicken. Phil had MVP. We all had Seth Rollins over Rey Mysterio. We all had Braun Strowman over Bray Wyatt. We all had Bayley over Nikki Cross. Phil and I had Asuka over Sasha Banks. Chicken took Sasha. And all three of us had Drew McIntyre to retain against Dolph Ziggler. Those are our predictions. Those of you who already know the results know that essentially we had a 3-way tie. But in my opinion, we did not. Because, for one, the MVP Apollo Crews match did not happen. So, Phil, sorry, you're out. Chicken technically had Sasha Banks. But that match didn't really end. And I'll be completely frank, I have not gotten through Monday Night Raw. And it's almost 10 o'clock on Tuesday. That's how excited I was to watch more professional wrestling after sitting through this disaster of a show. So I don't know how they address that yet. I will get through Raw, and I will see just exactly how we get through that befuddled situation. But for the most part, that match didn't end, in my opinion. Obviously, Asuka is still the champion because Bayley's not a referee, but we will get into that. Let's start at the bottom. Oh, boy. So apparently on the pre-show, which I did not see, unfortunately, because it would have been a good match, KO beat Kevin Owens, beat Buddy Murphy. Murphy. God damn this show. God, why couldn't that have been on the main card? Hell, why couldn't AJ Styles and Matt Riddle been on this card? Why couldn't Hardy and Cesaro been on this card? Why couldn't Orton and Big Show been on this card? But no, we had to keep this at 2.5 hours because that's Vince's new infatuation with these pay-per-views, I guess. But I digress. Moving along. First match on the main show. The New Day takes on Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura for the SmackDown tag titles. You know, honestly, this was a pretty good match. This was a strong opener. It was a tables match. I really felt like with the build to this, they're trying to make Cesaro actually look serious again, which, gee, about fucking time. Like, you've only been making this guy job out and pairing him with other people because you don't know what to do with him. The guy's a workhorse. He outshines almost everybody he's in the ring with on a consistent basis. So the fact you have nothing for him, that's kind of a disaster. It's kind of a travesty. And man, he would really be better suited in another company, but he remains a WWE employee for the foreseeable future. But hey, another tag team title run. And hey, Nakamura finally gets another belt that you'll probably forget that he has it because that's how they booked Nakamura with a belt. This was a good match. I gave it solid 3 stars. You know, the build wasn't great, but the match was pretty damn good. I'd actually like to see a return, a rematch. I think that's perfectly acceptable given the circumstances. So yeah, I liked the match. It was a good opener. Moving along, just a second. Yep, scotch was definitely necessary for this. Okay, so Bayley's on a historic run as the women's champion of SmackDown, and you know, even if you didn't like it at the get-go, it's kind of grown on you, and you've come to expect her as champ right now. Taking the belt off her at this point almost seems like the wrong thing to do at any given point, because she really has kind of come into her own with the SmackDown Women's title this run, and she's really become one of the better workers in the division. She always has been, but she's really gotten over with me on this heel run with the title. So obviously I didn't want to see her drop the belt here to Nikki Cross. Nikki's a damn good worker, but they've really made her the PG Nikki Cross as compared to what she was in NXT. So I kind of like to see her revert back to her crazy shtick before they put another belt on her. Obviously, tag titles, that's fine. It's a different thing to team. That's fine. I like her and Alexa Bliss because obviously Alexa Bliss is great with whatever she does. So I like her in that role, but as a singles right now, with where she's at with her gimmick, I wouldn't want to see the belt on her yet. Not right now. This was a damn good match. Honestly, I was surprised how much I found myself enjoying this one. I kind of thought it was going to be lame, but no, they surprised me. They really put in some effort here. Nikki Cross really stepped up on the big stage here. You know, when's she going to get another shot? Can't blame the girl. And Bayley didn't phone it in at all. Yeah, this was a great match. I gave it a 3.75. I really liked it. Maybe it's just surprising me that I liked it that much, but yeah, solid match. For me, the women kind of stole the show here tonight. Obviously, Bayley retains as expected. So nothing crazy here, nothing unexpected here, but yeah, damn fine match. I was pleasantly surprised with how this one unfolded. Really, they really had good chemistry. So good stuff there. Very happy to see it. Good God, this thing. So apparently, Apollo Crews has COVID or is quarantined or something. So instead of addressing that before the show or remedying the fact that he's still U.S. champion, apparently we have Lashley and MVP come out. And MVP's been carrying around this new U.S. title for a few weeks now, and they just declare himself the champion. That's not really how it works. I don't know. This was short, sweet, nothing to write home about. It wasn't a match. It was a segment, and I guess MVP has the new U.S. title, and that's going to be fun, I guess, to watch. Maybe. I don't know. Apollo Crews has deserved a singles title for a long time, so pulling it off of him that quickly would kind of suck. But I can see why they do it if this is going to be a long-term thing, if he's going to be out again. But I don't think that's going to be the case. So I would assume we're going to have a title versus title match. Unification, if you will, even though it's not really unification because MVP is just kind of carrying around the new version of the belt that Apollo Crews has. We'll see. Maybe we can do a kick-ass ladder match or something at SummerSlam. That's what I want to see. You know, MVP, Apollo Crews in a ladder match to unify the belts. That's the kind of booking you need here. I don't know. You might have MVP go over on that one, but I digress. This is, I guess I'm interested to see where this goes. I know they're making a new stable with the two of them and Shelton Benjamin here on Raw. I did see that. So we'll see where it goes. It could be worse. Nothing crazy to write about here. So we move on. Oh boy. Let's just talk about it. I'm going to need a little more liquid courage before I dive into this, folks. Enjoying the Dalmore 12 for this awful review. Before I go into this, man, Seth Rollins versus Rey Mysterio on any pay-per-view. That should be a license to print money. But, man, Seth Rollins' new Monday Night Messiah thing kind of came at the worst possible fucking time. As champ, as a face, he really got himself under on a consistent basis. And I love Seth Rollins. I think he's a fantastic talent. He's so much better as a heel, but without a crowd and without a full stable to surround him in this role, this is falling flat a lot. You need a crowd to feed off of, and this just hasn't been able to build where they wanted it to. So he's kind of in a rock and a hard place. He's doing what he can with it, but he is still handcuffed to what creative's going to allow him to do, and with what he's given the circumstances. So this was one of the main reasons that they completely ignored the Extreme Rules concept of the show name and added the tagline, the horror show. Before we even knew about this match at the Swamp Fight, they were already calling it the horror show. So, just lineage, for fuck's sake, WWE, come on. You gotta think big picture. You're pretending like your fans are dumb. You're playing the game kind of back asswards. You want to add these taglines. It needs to make sense when you add them. But I mean, look at every show this year so far. Like, WrestleMania was the only WrestleMania too big for one nights. Backlash just had the greatest wrestling match ever. We couldn't stop hearing about that. Money in the Bank, the risk is worth the reward. All of these shows have to have these stupid fucking taglines. Like, it's not enough to just call it the show. Like, most of your pay-per-view names are fine. Some of them are really stupid. I've never been a fan of Extreme Rules as a show anyway. But the horror show is so fucking campy. And they went out of their way to really remind folks that, yeah, this is a ridiculous, fake, silly, completely made up show. And boy, did they fucking proved it here. So obviously the build was Seth injured Rey Mysterio's eye. Rey says, well, fuck you, I'm going to rip your eye out. Eye for an eye. This is so stupid. I couldn't get into this match at all. I could not get into this match at all. Like, Phil and Chicken both told me they thought this was one of the better matches. It was fine. Nothing great, but I couldn't get into it. I couldn't get over the fact that the stipulation was somebody had to lose an eye. And knowing that, obviously, Rey Mysterio has a mask, he's the likely candidate. Plus the fact he hasn't re-signed a new contract. This is a way to write him off. So if he sticks around, signs a new contract, magically he's been healed. So this is so stupid. There's better ways to potentially write somebody out. I mean, you just threw him off of a fucking building, I believe, at Money in the Bank, right? Him and Aleister Black, if I'm remembering correctly. I mean, Jesus. There's so many better ways to go about this than, now he's blind in one eye or half blind in this. I'm pretty sure it was the already injured eye, but I couldn't get into this. They're trying to tear each other's eyes out with the corner of the announce desk, and they broke a kendo stick in half and tried to stab it into each other's face. It was the most ludicrous, stupid fucking thing ever. The match was okay, 2.5 stars, but obviously the end result, Seth Rollins wins again on the steps, busts out Rey Mysterio's eye, and you just kind of see a fishing bobber looking thing kind of dangling out of the mask. It was so fucking fake looking. It's just awful. Just all around awful. I can't believe in 2020 this is what we're getting out of fucking WWE. They've got 3 brands. Monday Night Raw is their flagship brand. And we're getting fucking eye for an eye matches. I'm laughing about it now, but oh my god, I gotta tell you, when I was watching, I'm just pissed. I'm annoyed. Can't get into it. It's just so disappointing. So he busts his eye out on the ring step. They okay, match is over. So then Seth Rollins goes and pukes, and then he's like just awestruck at what he's done, what he had to do to win. It's so fucking dumb. You got to move past this, folks. We hope the next feud. It looks like it's gonna be Aleister Black, which, oh my god, Seth Rollins versus Aleister Black. Don't add any bullshit to it. Just let them have matches like you did with Murphy, and the rest will write itself. That's all you got to do. Don't fuck this up. Do not fuck this up any more than you already have. Yeah, 2.5-star match. It was fucking terrible. Bayley cut a great promo. Phil called it a 4.5-star promo about, oh, so Ray, I loved you so much, but you're not seeing double vision. I got 2 belts. That was pretty good. But that does bring us up to the Raw Women's title match. Asuka defending against Sasha Banks. So I kind of alluded to this at the top, but we had some fuckery here. But honestly, I thought this was another really solid match. Sasha's a really, really good worker when she's got the right opponent. And Asuka looks really good in the ring when she's got the right opponent. And I thought these two really, excuse me, meshed well. I thought they had a fantastic outing here. I gave it 3.5. I probably would have gone higher, but there was no ending. What they were doing looked stiff. God, that spot, the backbreaker in the corner when was it Sasha was leaning back and Asuka kind of dropped. Oh, it was a great spot, man. A lot of good spots in this one. I thought they just had a great chemistry. The match flow was good. Kerry Sane on the outside and Bayley out there. It felt alive, and that was the cool thing about both the women's matches. Obviously, there's no crowd, but it felt alive. It wasn't that dead silence that we got used to before they started putting people out in the seats. This one felt like a legitimate live title match, so that kind of kept me into it. But then, obviously, here we go again. I'm gonna need a refill. Obviously, the ending was convoluted. We didn't even get an ending. The bell rang because Bayley rang it, or had them ring it. Bayley takes the shirt after Asuka goes to spit the green mist in Sasha's face for whatever fucking reason. Asuka's playing the face, so she's going to spit the green mist like a heel in Sasha's face, who is the heel. She ducks. The mist hits the ref. He's blinded, so he can't even call for a DQ. In a DQ, obviously, Asuka would retain, Sasha would win. But no bell rings, no DQ happens. Bayley takes the shirt off of the ref after blasting Asuka, if I remember right. At this point, I'm rolling my eyes again already. She puts the shirt on. She counts 1, 2, 3, makes the ring bell guy ring the bell, and they leave with the Raw Women's title on Sasha's shoulder. So now you got Bayley is the SmackDown Women's Champion. Sasha Banks is the Raw Women's Champion, and both of them as the Women's Tag Champs. It's a great push, and I think it's an absolutely brilliant way to eventually have them meet one-on-one. Obviously, they can lose the tag belts at some point, but man, we have been pining for that Sasha Banks versus Bayley match for a long time, and they wanted to do it at WrestleMania. COVID stopped that. We were hoping we were going to get it by SummerSlam. We're only a month away from SummerSlam, though, and now I'm like, screw it. Make us wait a little bit longer. I want that match in front of a crowd. Hold off till WrestleMania. Hopefully by then we will have live crowds again. That's where we need that match. We don't need to get to it too soon. Let's not jump the gun with this. But yeah, the ending was shit. I mean, it's fine. But WWE, every match, they expect the fans to just go along with whatever shit they're selling. You can't just have one card that actually has winners and losers, the whole top to bottom. It doesn't happen. I mean, I can't think. I can't think of the last time we had a top to bottom card without some convoluted ending. And I don't know. I'll have to finish Raw, I guess, to see how this all unfolded. But I don't know. I would have liked a clear decision, but this is Vince McMahon. This is what he likes. He likes to trick us, keep us guessing. Tune in to find out what the fuck happened on my complete mismatch of nonsense on Extreme Rules, the horror show. Fucking stupid. God, we're getting there, folks. We're getting there. I will need a refill before we talk about the next match. Ooh, this one was pretty good. Drew McIntyre defending the world title against Dolph Ziggler. Honestly, man, I wanted a little more out of the build. The build was quick. They just needed to get an opponent in for Drew, and they picked Dolph. Like, he's always a good opponent. You put him in there with anybody, and it's going to be a great match. He's going to give you whatever he's got. He's never going to win. Like, that's just kind of his lot in his WWE career. He goes out there, gives you a great match. You know he's never going to win it. It is what it is. Obviously, these guys have history. They tag together, and this could have been a lot bigger. Obviously, no live crowd hurts it, but the build was short. I would have liked to see this go on for a few more weeks before they decided to have this culminating match, this big blow-off match. Obviously, the Dolph Ziggler was allowed to pick the stipulation. He doesn't reveal it until right before the bell rings. It's Extreme Rules for Dolph Ziggler, but not for Drew McIntyre. So if you get disqualified, count it out. I win the world title. That's brilliant. That's good stuff. That is really, really awesome. I loved this. This was brilliant booking. Whoever decided that this was going to be how it went down. This was smart. Again, I would have liked to see a little more build, but we'll take what we can get. So this was a pretty damn good match. Drew's got to put up with all the getting counted out, but no. Dolph doesn't have to get counted out. I get to get. So it was brilliant. It was psychology was there. I can't use weapons, but Dolph can use this table. It was smart. I liked it. Match went off really well. Drew came out looking very, very strong. I thought it was great. And obviously, Drew McIntyre hits a huge Claymore at the end. Really, really good one out of nowhere. Big kick up right into Dolph's face. Looked awesome. I gave this one, I think I gave this one 3.5. I wanted a few more minutes out of it, honestly. But yeah, really good match. So that brings us to the main event. Okay. Oh my goodness. I don't even know how to describe to you my level of disgust. Main event, if you can even call it a main event. Braun Strowman not defending the Universal title against Bray Wyatt in a swamp fight. Remember back when we'd have like the New Day fight, the Wyatt family, and the compound fight? I actually liked that, because it was something you didn't see all the time. But 2020 has really been a interesting year for wrestling. Apparently, we're going to go and do as many cinematic matches as possible. Like the upper echelon, obviously, is The Undertaker and AJ Styles, and bottom of the barrel is stuff like the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders, or Money in the Bank, or AEW's Football Fuckery, whatever the hell that was, or this. My God. So, Bray Wyatt's in his cult leader, just sitting there in a rocking chair, rocking. Braun Strowman pulls up in a big truck, gets out, walks up to Wyatt, fade. We go somewhere else. Then Braun's like fighting two random guys. Then Braun Strowman is attacked with a shovel by Braun Strowman. Yeah, I said that right. This was Braun Strowman's Luke Skywalker moment going into the dark side cave in The Empire Strikes Back. You must face your fears. Go in there. Your weapons you will not need. It's fucking awful. It's just, I'm already out. Like, I'm already just done with this. I want to shut it off. I don't even want to watch it anymore. Braun Strowman with the black sheep mask attacks good Braun Strowman, I guess, with his shovel. He wakes up and he's chained to a chair. And Braun Strowman struggling, can't get out of these chains. I mean, he's flipped over a semi and a limo and ripped a car apart and pulled down complete entrance ramps. But no, he can't get out of this seat. That's so hard. Here comes Bray Wyatt with his entrance music. We haven't heard that in a while, so that was kind of fun, I guess. And then apparently the ghost of Sister Abigail appears with a snake, and it bites him. And then Braun Strowman wakes up shirtless again, back where he was when he got hit with the shovel. I believe at this point he's fighting the two guys again, and then another guy appears, tries to attack Braun with a shovel, and Braun beats him up. He gets too close to a nearby campfire and just immediately gets engulfed in flames and just starts flailing around, burning, and Braun's laughing. This is fucking awful. I can't with this shit, man. This is so bad. Then okay, I don't even know. There's another Sister Abigail out on the dock, and it's Alexa Bliss, and she's like, "Oh, you want to be with me, Braun? Come to me, Braun." And then here comes Bray Wyatt. I'm out at this point. I'm barely paying attention. I just want it to end. I just want it to fucking end. They fight a little bit. He dumps Bray into a boat. The boat floats off. The boat comes back immediately. No Bray, but he's in the water and he attacks Braun. They fight. They try to drown each other because there's not enough murder in WWE. Throwing people off buildings. Now we're trying to drown each other and burn people alive. Fuck me. Then more bullshit, and I'm literally not even paying attention at this point. I just want it to be over. And eventually kicks Bray Wyatt through a fence thing, and he falls into the lake. He looks down. It's over, and the copyright pops up to try to fake us out like they did with Gargano and Ciampa. But okay, it's obviously not fucking over. No, mandible claw. Bray reaches out of the water and flings him into the water with him. I don't know. Eventually the Fiend pops up. So I guess nobody wins this. The Fiend appears. Bray Wyatt, I guess, wins. Sure. Why not? What the fuck? This was a cinematic disaster. It's fucking terrible. Everything good about the Bray Wyatt John Cena Firefly Funhouse match at WrestleMania, none of that was here. This was all just the lunacy of the Bray Wyatt character balled up into one. Let's just do everything that we can possibly think of. It doesn't have to be good. Let's just do it in this fucking thing. So I'm not looking forward to more of these. The next cinematic match, doesn't matter how good it is, I'm gonna shit all over it because dumb shit like this. I'll give it a D plus because I don't rate these on a star. I rate them on letter grades, and this was a D plus match. And that I'm not going to give it a shit because I like Bray Wyatt, and obviously this was in his wheelhouse. But a lot of this could have been done as the build. This could have been done as the build to a match. We could have had Bray Wyatt, cult leader, Hawaiian shirt wearing Bray Wyatt versus Braun Strowman in a match. Would have loved to have seen that. Of course not. No, we got to do this. Most of the stuff that happened in the match, we could have done as the build. That would have been great on a weekly basis. Watching him invade the compound, get kidnapped, and do shit like that. That would have been great as the build. But instead, the cinematic build becomes the match. Because in 2020, that's what we're doing. Somehow Vince McMahon has found his dream, realized. And he's a movie studio now. And he's showing his movies during his wrestling pay-per-views. Fuck me. I'm just not loving it. And I've been really hard on AEW as a whole this year. But at least they're still pretending to try to put out a professional wrestling show. WWE's not even fucking pretending. Like when AEW does something stupid, at least it's still under the banner of a wrestling show. The WWE's not even fucking trying at this point. They're just phoning it in, doing wacky shit because they can get away with it right now. Because once this all ends and we start seeing crowds show up again, we can get back to normal. Obviously, this all goes away. Fingers crossed. Knock on wood. And the crowds will be huge. They'll be amazing. They'll be electric. They'll be ready for wrestling. So in the meantime, we're going to get bullshit like this. I mean, I get the short run time. That's fine, especially if it's going to be a product like this. But oh man, I'm not even looking forward to SummerSlam. I'm not. There's some potential really good big matches, but what the fuck? There's going to be a cinematic match. There's going to be a big, ridiculous stipulation match with some lunatic fucking, okay, this time we're going to cut off your arm. And the cinematic match is going to be Bray Wyatt versus 20 guys wearing pig costumes. I don't fucking know. It's going to be something stupid. So I'm trying to find some positives out of the show. Obviously, the women's matches for me stole the show. Drew McIntyre, man, God, I feel for you. Watched you live in Houston, win the Royal Rumble. Really was excited for your big win at WrestleMania. Unfortunately, you won the title at the worst possible time. I hope they don't lose faith in you, because I'd really like to see you carry that belt for a while. But at this rate, fuck, are you even proud to hold the WWE title? Because yikes, I'm not proud to be a WWE fan right now. Well, this has been 30 minutes of nonsense. I appreciate anybody who actually listened to this bullshit. Might have Chicken and Phil do their own review, but this was mine, and man, it wasn't good. A couple really good matches. You know what? 3 really good matches. Hell, I'd even throw in the New Day match, but the rest was so fucking stupid and bad that it's asinine to pretend like this is still a wrestling program. I hope we get back to normal. I hope so. Man, I hope SummerSlam's a good show, because they need to redeem themselves in a big way after this one. Well, that was the horror show Extreme Rules 2020 review. With me, your champ, Tony fucking G. Like, share, subscribe. All that good shit. Folks, join us next time and whatever content we decide to upload next, because right now I'm just not feeling it. But we'll get you something. We'll try to entertain you however we can, and we won't half-ass it like the WWE's doing. So I will see you next time.